Hi, I'm Courtney Clarke with Turkish American Television in studio today with Şenay Ataselim, the Chief Operating Officer and Chief Financial Officer for Turkish Philanthropy Funds. Şenay, welcome.
Thank you, Courtney. It's great to be here.
We're really excited to have you in studio and talk about all the wonderful work that Turkish Philanthropy Funds is doing. But first, I want to get to know you a little bit and better understand how you got in the world of philanthropy. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Of course, I'm a Turkish American living in New York City for over 20 years now. I'm a graduate of the oldest political science faculty in Turkey with its old name, Mülkiye, new name, CSL. When I graduated, I want to do good in the world, but I didn't know how at that time. Most of my friends went to be bankers. I didn't want to go into finance, and I was looking for different ideas. And that's when I decided to come to the United States for a graduate degree. And I did my master's in public administration with a concentration in nonprofit management and public policy, which opened the world of civil society and nonprofit organizations to me. And I saw that a lot of good can be done through these wonderful organizations. And I decided to build my career, professional career in this field.
That is just wonderful. And, there's so much that the world can do with help like yours. Just reading now that you're at Turkish Philanthropy Funds, I mean, how did you get involved with this organization that we'll go into in a minute, how much work you guys have done for the Turkish community? It's really amazing. But how did you first come across this foundation?
I've been involved with TPF since its establishment. Right after my master's, I got into a PhD program in political science. And when I was doing my PhD, I got a fellowship from a center called Center on Philanthropy and Civil Society in New York City. I was one of their global emerging leaders. This fellowship was kind of the start of my journey with TPF. During the fellowship, I did a research on the giving motivations of diaspora communities. And Haldun Taşman, the founder and the visionary behind Turkish Philanthropy Funds, was one of the people I interviewed for my research project. After my interview, we had long conversations about the needs in Turkey, the motivations of the Turkish American community, and if we would start an organization, what the structure of that organization can be for Turkish Americans who want to give back to Turkey. And I always believe our meeting was kind of the stars aligning to make things happen. I was thinking of an organization that can help Turkish Americans to give back and how that can be realized. And I met this philanthropist who was contemplating with the same ideas and same questions as myself. Then Haldun Bey commissioned a feasibility study to better understand the interest from the community and to look into different structures, both offered by other diaspora communities in the United States, other Turkish American organizations, other foundations, to see if there is a model that we can replicate for an organization to serve the Turkish American community with their personal philanthropy. I became an advisor to that research. And fast forward to today, it's been, I think, 15 years since we first met with Haldun Taşman. I'm the Chief Operating and Financial Officer of Turkish Philanthropy Funds.
So you really had a part in shaping Turkish Philanthropy Foundation.
Exactly. I have been part of the initial group that pioneered this organization.
So you said you did some research to find out what the pressing needs of the community were. What were those things that were most important to the community that you discovered?
What we were looking for is really to better understand the civil society sector in Turkey. And at the end, we've decided that we would establish TPF as a community foundation. And what that means is we are donor-centric. So instead of picking areas that we believe are the most need, we have been asking our donors what they would like to do themselves philanthropically and help them realize that. So we work with our donors to encourage their aspirations and mobilize and guide them to make their philanthropy more impactful and have a lasting impact. So it's not one specific area that we work in per se, or a couple of areas that we recommend our donors to invest in socially, but rather we help our donors to support whatever cause they want to. And over the years, we have developed a portfolio of funds and donor-centric giving programs that can support the passions and financial needs of givers, our community of donors that are diverse, that have diverse objectives and diverse means.
I think that's wonderful that you give your donors an opportunity to custom make their packages. And it sounds like kind of when you look at the Turkish Philanthropy Foundation website, the causes really will ebb and flow based on who the donors are and what their passions are. And I just think that's wonderful. I mean, really, really astounding to know that Turkish Philanthropy Foundation, since you've built this organization, has raised over $40 million. Over 23 million has been granted. You work with over 6,000 donors, 200 plus projects. I mean, did you ever in your, when you first started conceptualizing this, think it would get to this point so quickly? It's really amazing.
We did not actually. Of course, we knew when we first started, we wanted to bring our community together so they can do their personal philanthropy and we can address a lot of the social problems in our community. But we did not envision this. And I believe this has all happened because people, our donors, believed in us and they trusted us. Our motto at TPF is everyone can be a philanthropist. And we truly believe in it. We believe that it is our experiences, our skills, and every one of us has the ability to make a difference in our communities in the world. And we don't necessarily have to have huge financial means to be able to do that. It is within us, and TPF enables that. And the platform, the trustworthy, the transparent platform that we offer to our donors enabled us. And the stories of our donors are, I believe, a testament to what we have done. I can say we became a huge, big community of givers with diverse objectives and means.
So can anyone be a donor? What does it take to be a donor?
Anyone can be a donor at TPF. So over the years, we've helped expand the engagement of Turkish American community in philanthropy in many different ways. And I think we want everyone to be a donor. So it's not just if you have big financial means and you're ready to think about giving back, but it's whatever you want to do. TPF is here offering you different opportunities, different vehicles for you to do that. So one option will be, of course, to do your personal philanthropy through TPF, both for Turkey and in the United States. You can open a donor advised fund or a scholarship fund at TPF for your family, for your business, for yourself. Or you can gather your friends, your people in your network together and start a giving circle and support the causes or organizations that you believe in. Another option is to give directly to NGOs that we partner with in Turkey. So every partner NGO has get a campaign page on their TPF's website, so they can receive funding directly. Or another option, like we did with the recent earthquake one, you can come together with many others, hundreds, thousands of donors in times of immediate needs and disaster, and give to those causes.
Tell us a little bit more about that. Turkish Philanthropy Foundation has done some unique work the past year since the whole COVID situation spiked up. Can you tell us a little bit about those projects and initiatives?
Of course. Our COVID-19, especially community relief fund, has been a way for us to bring our community together during these difficult times. You know, all of us have been impacted by this pandemic. So, but as TPF, we've decided that our focus should be on addressing the needs of those who have been disproportionately impacted, and offering our support to nonprofit organizations that offer vital support to these communities. And we knew that a lot of people in our community were eager to help. So we rose up to the challenge and brought our community together. Over the years, TPF have been around for 13 years now. Over the years, we have built a wealth of knowledge and have really deep connections with NGO partners and also with the Turkish American community. So that enabled us to respond to the pandemic quickly with targeted funds. I'm very proud and happy to say that we've been able to touch the lives of more than 50,000 people through the funds that we raised. Among our notable highlights of from our COVID-19 relief fund is the purchase of a life-saving medical machine in the treatment of COVID-19. We donated that to a university medical school in Turkey, in Malatya, and that is the second of its kind in the country, and it's been making a lot of difference in many people's lives in Turkey. We provided much needed PPE to healthcare workers. We offered cash assistance to Turkish students in the US who were stuck here and needed to get back home, and also funded a lot of scholarships. So we're very proud of the work we did to ease the pains of COVID-19 and this pandemic in our community.
That is so truly inspiring to actually see your donation and see where it goes and see that it's actually saving lives. That's really remarkable. Can you talk a little bit about your other disaster relief efforts? So COVID obviously was such a huge one this year, but there were also the earthquakes and your recent work in Izmir. Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
TPF makes sure that we respond to disasters in Turkey quickly. And recently, with the Elazig earthquake, which happened back in January of this year, TPF became a part of a network of NGOs called Afet Platformu. And this enabled us access to real-time activity data, which is happening on the ground. During the Elazig earthquake, a couple of organizations who responded to earthquake on the ground came together and to discuss, if a platform should be created so NGOs can respond in a more organized and efficient way. So the result was the formation of the Afet platform by about 20 organizations. TPF is one of them. And the group communicates among a WhatsApp group. So I heard about the Izmir earthquake literally minutes after it happened. It was early morning in New York City. And the member organization of that group started organizing right away, and literally we were on the ground within the hour. So all the other organizations, both local organization in Izmir and others coming from other cities, started getting organized under this umbrella. So everyone communicated with each other through just one channel, which was very important. So there was no replication. The needs were quickly communicated and responded. So this is amazing and the first time in Turkey, and at TPF we're proud to be part of this wonderful platform and initiative. So we get right now all of our data that is, the work that's being done on the ground through AFET platform partner members. And we also have a formal proposal process where organizations apply to get funding. And what we do is we make decision based on the current needs. Also, we try to assess the long-term impacts of disaster and make our decision based on that. Our initial grants for the earthquake, Izmir earthquake, have been to respond to basic needs. Now we are reviewing grants for psychosocial support, some scholarship to students who lost their parents. And the other priority for now around Izmir earthquake is to get people who have lost their homes out of tents into real homes so they can continue with their lives. We are working with our partners, İhtiyaç Haritası and Nef Vakfı, to provide much needed rental support through the Bir Yuva Bir Kira initiative in Izmir. Currently, there are about 4,000 families that needed that are identified as needing homes, and half of these are already covered, have been supported, and will continue providing our funds to go towards this this program that will provide homes to people who have been impacted and by the earthquake and have lost their homes. There's more information on how we've responded to the earthquake on our website, and we also list in detail where the funds are going, how much, and what is going to be done with the funds.
I mean, so many resources that this is providing for these disasters. Aside from disaster relief, you do an array of other projects as well. So what are some of the projects that you also support in the US for the Turkish American community?
Turkish American community also is growing, as you know, here in the United States. And we've been thinking about how better we can support the Turkish American community. And we have been considering different opportunities and programs to do that. But up until now, we've generally worked with one-on-one with donors to respond to the Turkish American community needs in different ways. One example is the establishment of an economics award under Sena, Eken, Schieber's name in the United States. So this fund was established by one of our donors, George Schieber, to honor the name of his late wife, Sena Eken Schieber. After Sena passed away in 2014, George wanted to do something meaningful in her name. Sena was an economist, and her dream was to enable the current generation of Turkish women to have the same opportunities that she had. She had a great education in Turkey, and her graduate training in the US provided her many opportunities to have a very challenging and inspirational, also international career. And so her husband, George, to be able to create the same opportunities for other deserving Turkish women, created the Sena Eken Schieber Scholarship Fund at TPF. So the fund helps women from Turkey who lacks the financial means to get graduate degrees in economics in the US. These are bright, very wonderful young women who got accepted to programs here in the United States but lack the financial means. So our goal with the scholarship is to provide these women the opportunity to help correct the gender gap imbalance in Turkey and help them reach their potential while contributing to a more equitable and better world especially in this male-dominated profession. When we first established the scholarship fund, we were only partnering with about 30 schools, 30 top schools in the economics field. Now we work with more than 100 universities. It's also wonderful that through this program, we were able to put the program in front of a lot of different universities, top universities, and put Turkish students in the map among economics graduate programs in the US.
I love hearing about the personalized donor stories. And that was something that you had touched on earlier, is that every donor has a unique story. You share a lot of these stories on your website. And I will urge our viewers that, think about those things that you're passionate in. You too have a story to tell, and reach out to tpfund.org and, find a way to turn that passion into action and help someone else and tell that story. It's just so dynamic, and it's so important that we play it forward. It's just wonderful, the work that you are doing. What are your goals for the next, I guess the next year is very unpredictable for all of us, but for Turkish Philanthropy Foundation, what would be the goals for the short term and the long term?
I think our goal has always been the same, to give opportunities to our community to be more philanthropic. And that's why we're trying to create different campaigns. We're trying to introduce programs that can make really a difference in communities in Turkey. And in a way, bring our community together so we can, in this difficult times, hold each other up. Since the beginning of this pandemic, we've been saying that we want to remember this time as time of hope and redemption. So we are working to be able to do that. As you said, it's not an easy time, and it's difficult to predict what's coming in the coming months. But we know and see that our community is very philanthropic, very generous, and we have been lucky that they have trusted in TPF, in the work that we do, and will continue providing our platform so they can continue giving back in an impactful way.
That's just wonderful. And again, if any of our viewers want to donate or read these wonderful, rich stories about the donors that have contributed to all these wonderful passions and causes, visit tpfund.org. And do you have any other things that you want to share with us this evening? Any words of wisdom or parting words?
Courtney, I also want to invite everyone to go to TPF's website and check out what we've been doing. We have many different campaigns, programs going on, and the need is really big in communities, and the pandemic, unfortunately, may turn some of these needs into dire needs. So we need everyone to come together to lift these communities up. I want to, before we close, thank you all for giving me this opportunity to reach out to more people. I believe TPF is trying to bring our community together around philanthropy, and we need everyone to come and be part of this wonderful community so we can grow our impact together.
Well, thank you so much. Truly inspirational. Very, very excited about the work you have been doing, especially during this incredibly difficult time on a global scale. So thank you. Thank you for your time today and for just inspiring all of us.
Great. Thank you so much, Courtney, for having me again. It's wonderful to be here.